CSS has become the most popular layout for standard web pages, we're going to use basic HTML right now to get you familiar with the very basics before moving on to anything more complex. Adding text to a Dreamweaver document is actually very easy. You can type your text directly onto the Dreamweaver document, or you can cut and paste text from other documents or sources. So to type text in your document, click on the Design button in the document toolbar. So make sure you have Design selected. You could also type in code view, but unless you're familiar with HTML, this can be really confusing. So we're going to make it easy for now and stay in Design view. So simply click on the area where you want to add your text, and now I'm going to type my text into the document. And just to make it a little easier to see the text we've added, I'm going to go ahead and bold that using the Properties Inspector. You can see the text that we've added in Design view. Now if we click on the code view, we can see right here that Dreamweaver has placed our text within the code for us. And these strong tags have been added because we put the text in boldface. If we go to split view, we can see both our code and our design. Now if you'd prefer to paste text into your document, you have two choices. You can paste by going to Edit, Paste, or Edit, Paste Special. Let's distinguish between the two. Since you're most likely already familiar with paste, let's explain Paste Special. If you select Edit, Paste Special, Dreamweaver will allow you to specify the format of the pasted text. For example, let's say you want to copy some text from a Microsoft Word document. When you go up and choose Paste Special in Dreamweaver, you'll be able to choose if you want to strip the formatting that was used in Microsoft Word. That allows you to paste text only if that's what you want to do. When we click OK, we can see that it's pasted that new text in, and it's applied the format that was already attached. Now, if you've ever used Microsoft Word before, you know what it means to format text, and you also know how important it is to format text. Formatting text includes the font you use, the font color, paragraphs, lists, and so on. Let's discuss how to format text in Dreamweaver using Design view. To create a new paragraph, all you have to do is press Enter and a white space will be placed beneath the text. If you want to add another row of white space, hit Enter again, and Dreamweaver will automatically add the code that marks the end of one paragraph and the beginning of another. So if you want to see what that looks like, we press Enter, and you can see another line of code has been added. And you can see this little P within the brackets here starts the new paragraph. But what if you want to create a line break without starting a new paragraph and without the extra white space that a new paragraph gives? This is called a forced line break. To insert one into your document, move the cursor to the place where you want to insert a line break. So for example, if we wanted it right here, and then hold down the Shift key while pressing Enter. You can see our new code appeared, and this is the code for a line break. Within the brackets, we see BR. You can also use line breaks to add more space between paragraphs. Now let's talk about fonts. It's easy to set and control the font or the typeset in your document using a font tag. The font tag is a method of setting fonts and font attributes for a block of text. If you've ever looked at HTML code, you've probably seen this. This is called a font tag. Using this HTML, it's easy to change the font from one block of text to another. And you can change the font type or font color for the entire page by going to Page Properties, as we discussed earlier. In addition to formatting the text in your documents, you can also format the paragraphs. There are 3 basic paragraph styles in Dreamweaver: paragraph, heading, and pre-formatted. And you can apply these by using the list in the Format menu. So let's talk about these styles. First, paragraph. Most text on your page is formatted as the default format. It ignores white space. Sequential spaces within your paragraphs will appear as only one space when your viewers see it in a browser. Now headings, you can see it gives you several choices here. Headings are used to separate different contents on a page. We use headings in this course whenever we start a new subject matter, such as when we talked about fonts, then moved to formatting paragraphs. Headings in Dreamweaver start at the largest and boldest, or H1, to the smallest, H6. And then finally, pre-formatted allows you to space the text exactly as you want it, including using white space and line breaks. However, it doesn't automatically word wrap. You must press enter to end a line. Now, if you wanted to create lists, you can create lists on your web page to list items using bullet points. However, you can also create a navigational menu by using an unordered list, using the Insert panel, clicking the downward arrow and selecting Structure, and then creating hyperlinks that link to other pages on your website. You can also use the Property Inspector to create lists. So to do so, just place the cursor on your document where you want the list to begin. Go to the Property Inspector and create this button here to create an unordered list or simple bullet points. Or create this button to create an ordered or numbered list. And if we go back into our code, you can see that this right here is the tag to begin a list. So go ahead and type in some text for your list. And then you can hit the list button again when you're done entering your list. As you can see, this tag here marks the end of a list. Now let's say you already had some text that you wanted put in a list format. You would just select the text and then click the appropriate button. Now sometimes you may want to add or increase an indentation in a line of text. To do this, just place the cursor in the appropriate spot in your document and then click this button right here in the Properties Inspector. Likewise, you can click this button if you want to decrease the indent. You can also insert special characters such as trademark, copyright, and other symbols quickly and easy in Dreamweaver. You can use the Characters menu on the Insert menu by making sure that you have text selected and then select Characters. It'll show you some of the more common characters in the drop-down menu. But if you don't see the special character that you need, select Other Characters, and the character menu will appear. Now you're probably also interested in creating links. A text link is a word or group of words that, when you click on them, will take you to another page on your website or another website. To create a text link, first select the text that you want to turn into a link. So we've typed some text in here, we'll select that. And then in the Properties Inspector menu, click on the HTML button on the left-hand side. You should now see the link field. If not, make sure you're in Design View. Now you've probably also wondered about creating links. A text link is a word or group of words that when you click on them, take you to another page on your website or another website. To create a text link, first select the text that you want to turn into a link. Here's the section that we're using here. In the Properties Inspector panel, click on the HTML button, and you should see the link box here. And then you'll enter the URL or website that it's going to direct you to. If the link points to a website other than your own, make sure to use the full address. For example, instead of just notyourwebsite.com, you'd want to make sure that you write out the full link. If it points to a page within your website, you can simply type the name of the page in the extension. For example, page.html. Hit the Enter key when you're finished. And as you can see, your text now appears as a link. To create a link that opens in a new browser window, select the text that you want to make the link. And again, type in the address for the link. Then go over here to Target and select blank. Now, if you wanted to make an image, such as a logo, into a clickable link, that's just as easy. Now, you haven't learned how to insert images yet, so don't worry about that right now. This is just for an example. But first, you would select the image that you wanted to turn into the link, and then go into the Properties panel and enter the image URL into the link box. You'll also want to make sure that your image border is set to 0. Otherwise, your image may appear with a blue border to show that it's a clickable image. But again, don't worry about that for now. We'll learn about images in the next lesson. You can also make a clickable image that enlarges when clicked. You've probably seen this before. There's a small image on a web page, and when you click on it, it opens into a larger image. Believe it or not, this is very easy to do by creating a link. Instead of a link taking you to a different page or website, it takes you to a larger version of the image. To do this, first you'll need to create 2 copies of the image. One will need to be smaller than the other. For example, a thumbnail and a regular size copy of the image. Both copies of the image need to be in your image folder within your root folder, which we'll learn to do in the next lesson. You'll insert the smaller version of the image into your document, as we've done here. Then you'll click the picture, go to link in the properties, as we just did when we made a clickable image, and then you'll click the Browse button beside the link box. When you do that, you would locate the larger image in your Images folder, select it, and then click OK. Dreamweaver will automatically insert the link for you. Now you may also want to create an email link. An email link is a link that, when it's clicked on, creates an email using the viewer's default email program. You just specify what address the email will be sent to. To create an email link, highlight the text that you want to turn into an email link, and then go to Insert, Email Link. You would type the text you want to appear on the web page, and then the email address. After you click OK, you would click on that email to open up a blank email in the user's email client. Now let's talk about creating anchors and jump links. You've seen anchors and jump links on web pages before. They're especially popular on FAQ pages where there is a list of questions. You can click on any one of those questions and be taken down further on the page to where the answer is located. This is done using an anchor and a jump link. When someone clicks on a jump link, they will jump to a different place on the page. A quick note to CC users, it's important to note that the anchor and jump link feature is only available in Dreamweaver CS6 and not Dreamweaver CC. Named anchors have been deprecated. You'll have to use div IDs in your markup. We'll learn about div IDs later in this course. Now, if you're using Dreamweaver CS6, creating a jump link is easy. As you can see here, we've created a series of questions followed by a one-paragraph answer in Design View. We're going to link the first question to this answer. We want to make it so that when someone clicks on the first question, they'll be taken to our answer. To do this, we're going to insert an anchor before the answer. We'll do that by clicking and moving the cursor to our answer before the word you, and then going to Insert, Named Anchor. You'll type in the name of your anchor, which we're going to call Question 1, and then click OK. You can see that the anchor has now appeared in our document. Next, we're going to select the first question. This is the question that we want to link to our answer. Now you'll go to the Insert panel, and under Common, you'll click Hyperlink. In the link box, we're going to click the down arrow and select Question 1 and click OK. You can test your jump link by going to the Document toolbar and previewing your page in a browser window. Click on the link to make sure it takes you to the appropriate area on the page. Now let's talk about adding meta tags. If you've ever heard of a meta tag before, you probably relate it to SEO or search engine optimization. Meta tags can be used for several things, but the most common use is for putting special text in code at the top of your pages. This text won't be viewable to visitors who come to your site, but it will be read by search engines as they crawl and index your website. Dreamweaver offers features to add meta tags, but first you should understand what each tag means. A meta keyword tag is used to list keywords you want search engines to use if someone searches for your site in a search engine. For example, if you have a site about bass fishing, bass may be a keyword you want to use on your page in a meta keyword tag. A meta description tag is a short paragraph that describes your website. This is usually the description that will appear with your website URL in search engine results. It should be written as an advertisement to compel people to click and visit your site. To add a meta description tag in CS6, go to Insert, HTML, Head Tags, and Description. You'll then see the description dialog box where you'll type in your description without adding any HTML. And click OK when you're finished. To add meta keyword tags, go to Insert, HTML, Head Tags, and Keywords. If you're using CC, you'll just go to Insert, Head,